Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the 2011 film Hop. Now, as you know, Hop is a fantasy comedy film that was produced by Illumination and was meant to be their sort of first attempt on a live action sort of film. And I would say, yeah, with Easter coming, I wanted to do this as a sort of Easter review, and sort of had the film for quite a bit, so I wanted to kind of get around to doing it. So the premise of the film is meant to follow on Easter Island, how we see how a young rabbit known as EB is meant to succeed his father in taking over as the Easter Bunny. But of course, we know that EB wants to be more of a sort of musician and more of a drummer. So of course decides to kind of leave to the human world, and where we kind of see him meeting his new friend Fred. Now, I would say Fred's character is a bit of a slacker. You can tell doesn't really want to take any real responsibility. And you can kind of tell Fred's family do get annoyed, fed up, and irritated with his irresponsible behaviour. And I think when you do have Gary Cole playing the role of Fred's father, I don't see him as a full-on bad guy. I think it's clear that he did support Fred once, but yeah, because of Fred's irresponsibility, his lack of being mature, and not really taking any responsibility for his actions, I'm not blaming his father for being a little annoyed with him, and it's kind of clear that, yeah, some of his family members did try, but it's just kind of clear that, yeah, Fred's father is mostly annoyed, fed up, and if not, irritated with Fred's irresponsible behaviour. And of course, over the course of the film, we do kind of see how Fred, as well as EB, get to know each other, and this is where we see how Fred tries to find his true calling as the Easter Bunny. And I think the premise of the film is meant to have a bit of a message that sometimes in life you might not be cut out for something, but you might be meant for something a bit more bigger. I think the difference between Carlos and Fred was, I think it was clear that Fred had good intentions and didn't want to do it for the wrong reasons, and became the Easter Bunny to try and fill the role he was always meant for. I think when you've got Hank Azaria playing Carlos, it's clear that, yeah, he was doing this more for himself, and didn't show any concern or care for anyone. And I think when you got Hank Azaria playing Carlos, I think his character's not too bad. Again, I think Hank Azaria is a good actor when he does play villain roles, because when he does play, say, Eddie Brock in Spider-Man the Animated Series, he plays this guy who takes his anger out on the world. I think when he does play Wit in Run Fat Boy Run, he plays this jerky, rich, successful boyfriend role, and I think him playing an evil chicken does work, and making him kind of like a warning to what can happen if someone tries to take over things for the wrong reasons. And I think, well, yeah, I can understand because of the adult humour, because of, yeah, innuendos and so on, is where I think the film did get a lot of negative reviews. And I kind of think we're just thrown in there as sort of jokes. Again, adult jokes can work if they're done carefully. And I think, well, yeah, the film isn't meant to be perfect, and not meant to be a big, sort of successful thing. I can see where Illumination hasn't really done any live action films in quite some time, and I can see where they've just gone back to the whole animated line. I mean, yeah, it's important to give things a try, and sometimes it's important to see if basically, if it was really worth it or not. I think, well, yeah, Hop isn't a perfect film. I think it's clear that, yeah, Illumination gave something a try. It just wasn't going to be cut out for them. So I think this film definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of okay, but kind of alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.